saying it will be well with Nigeria. The Vice President stated this at the Easter and Thanksgiving service held at the Aso Villa Chapel in Abuja. In a sermon which centers on belief and having trust in Christ, chaplain of Aso Villa Chapel, Oluwaseyi Amalomo, made references to how those who are close to Christ still had doubts in his resurrection, despite beforehand told what was to come after his triumph.
I said Nigeria is following the steps of God. Whether they like it or not, Jesus rose up from the dead. Whether the devil likes it or not, Nigeria will rise up. You will rise up. Your family will rise up. Your vision will rise up. Our life will rise up.
Message to Nigerians, Vice President Yemi Oshibajo said the message of resurrection is for all who believe to partake in the promises of God for eternal peace and joy.
We celebrate the evidence of the plan of God. So God has given us a receipt of our salvation, and it's really exciting. So I just want to thank God for our nation and pray that our nation will experience the grace and mercy of God in so many different ways, that we're expecting His grace and mercy. All will be well.
Federation boss Mustafa and wife Yemisi joined the Vice President in the Easter and Thanksgiving service.
In the life of Jesus is bound to happen to this nation. So Nigeria would arise again. Individually we would arise. So my message to Nigerians is a message of hope, urging us to be patient and to love one another and to follow in the precepts and footsteps of Jesus.
Prayers for the country and its leadership. Meanwhile, Ogun State Governor Prince Dapo Abiodun has called on Nigerians, especially residents of the state, to embrace peace, love and unity as the world celebrates Easter. The governor, in his Easter message made available to newsmen in Abeokuta, the Ogun State capital, by his chief press secretary, Kunle Shomori, urged Nigerians to avail themselves with what the resurrection of Jesus Christ symbolizes and live in peace. He noted that the country is indeed going through challenges and implored the people to emulate the love Christ showed while being crucified in order to move the country forward. According to Governor Abiodun, the resurrection of Jesus had indeed shown that the country has a great hope to rise from the present ashes to a powerful nation. While wishing Christian faithful a wonderful Easter celebration, the governor also charged them to pray for the country to overcome the socio-economic challenges confronting it. He, however, expressed optimism that the country will regain its position in the community of nations, calling on the people not to be weary but trudge on, while urging the people to engage in moderate celebration. The governor reminded them that the COVID-19 pandemic is still much around, and as they celebrate, people should adhere to the safety protocols of the pandemic, the statement submitted. We now bring you the report on Easter picnic in Abeokuta Metropolis now. Following the crucifixion of Jesus Christ on Good Friday, according to biblical accounts, 3 days after Jesus Christ resurrected from the dead, the day also marked the end of Lenten season for Christians after completing the 40-day period of fasting. Benga Adekoya takes a look at the celebration of Easter Monday in Abeokuta Metropolis. His report is presented in this package.
Easter Monday is the first day after the religious intensity of Palm Sunday. Good Friday and Easter Sunday, where families, friends, and faithful who have been in solemn and pensive mood get together in a completely relaxed manner to enjoy one another's company. Christian faithful in Abeokuta Metropolis joined others world over to celebrate this year's Easter Monday with biblical visit to symbolic Galilee to meet Jesus who rose from the dead, while others gathered for picnics at their various worship places. In some areas visited, it was fun galore, as a whole lot of activities ranging from different games, miming, and dancing.
There are some importance attached to the gathering. Number one is that it justifies the Christian before God. Number two, because Christ is going to judge the whole world. Number three, we are put into right way with God, and that's the essential and the importance of the gathering.
If Christ has not risen up today, it would have, the entire issue of Christianity would have been just be in vain. But because the Lord Jesus Christ, who has conquered every power and the key of death has been obtained from the devil, Christ has risen up today, and every Christian is expected to be rejoicing.
Clerics say it is not mandatory to attend church on Easter Monday, as the main celebrations are secular.
The Minister of Labour and Employment, Chris Ngige, has said the federal government will soon engage the leadership of the striking National Association of Resident Doctors in a fresh talk with a view to ending the ongoing strike. He said the purpose of the fresh talk will be for the striking resident doctors to explain to the government team the aspects of the Memorandum of Understanding they signed on Thursday, which they did not agree with. Shortly before the strike started, the leadership had signed a memorandum of action with the federal government team, which made the minister to describe the strike as being in bad faith. A World Health Organization report on the origin of COVID-19 has revealed that the COVID-19 pandemic did not originate from the laboratory. The WHO, in its draft report, noted that the virus probably came to the people through an animal and likely started spreading not more than a month or two before it was noticed in December 2019. WHO's Joint International Team concluded that the least likely source of the coronavirus was from a laboratory leak, even as it will release the final draft of the report very soon. The report gave 4 possible sources for the virus, and most likely scenario was via an intermediate animal host, possibly a wild animal captured and raised on a farm. The Indian government has donated 100,000 doses of Covishield COVID-19 vaccines to the federal government. The vaccines manufactured at the Serum Institute of India, Pune, the world's largest vaccine manufacturing facility, arrived at the Nnamdi Azikiwe International Airport, Abuja, from Mumbai on March 26, 2021. A statement from the Indian High Commission explained that the consignment was delivered to the National Primary Healthcare Development Agency. Latest report from the Nigeria Center for Disease Control, NCDC, has revealed that COVID-19 testing across states in the past week, March 22nd to March 28th, 2021, decreased significantly as 15 states tested a total of 578 samples in 1 week. More worrisome is the fact that each of the states tested less than 100 samples. Similarly, new cases of COVID-19 have also dropped from 1,080 to 2 weeks ago to 856 last week, with 18 deaths recorded in the same week. States like Lagos, FCT, Rivers, and Kaduna states and Sokoto tested the least COVID-19 samples in 13 respectively. The Minister of Interior, Rauf Aregbesola, has promised that applicants will soon begin to get Nigerian passports within 24 hours. The minister also, in a statement at the newly inaugurated Maitama Passport Express Center, said passports will be issued in each of the 774 local government areas of the country to reduce the problem of getting it. He explained that the Nigerian Immigration Service Passport Express Center, Maitama, Abuja, was established in partnership with the private sector to make passport issuance more convenient and quick. Aregbesola stated that the opening of the center, which signified the inauguration of the passport issuance decentralization policy of the administration, was the first of many more to be established in every local government area in Nigeria, and designed to offer specialized services to Nigerians. The passport should be available in maximum of 72 hours for a successful application. Where there are issues, the applicant must be notified within 48 hours. The Joint Admission and Matriculation Board, JAMB, has cautioned operators of cyber cafes, tutorial centers, and other entities against indiscriminate use of its logo and name for illegal transactions. The board warned that it would embark on a nationwide clampdown with security agencies to effect arrest and prosecute unauthorized use of its name and logo in the forms of signages and advertisements to defraud hapless candidates. The board frowned at the habit of using its name and logo against hapless candidates purposely to deceive, defraud, and extort them. JAMB Registrar Professor Ishaq Oloyede disclosed this in Ilorin, where he handed over some operators of cyber cafes, tutorial centers, and other similar operators to security agents. Gunmen on Monday morning attacked the Owerri Correctional Center in the Imo State capital to free over 1,500 inmates. The attackers also razed the Imo State Police Command headquarters situated in Owerri and burnt down almost all the vehicles parked at the command headquarters. The hoodlums further freed the suspects in almost all the cells of the State Criminal Investigation Department of the command. The gunmen operated from 1 in the morning till 3 in the morning on Monday. They sang solidarity songs at the government house roundabout for about 30 minutes before attacking the facilities. On breaking into the prison facility with the aid of explosives and dynamite, the attackers told the inmates to go home. When contacted, the police spokesperson on the state, Orlando Ikoko, confirmed the attacks. He, however, assured the people of the state that the security agencies were on top of the matter. Now for news. Portugal on Monday reopened museums, cafe terraces, and secondary schools nearly 2 months after tightening COVID-19 curb following a wave of cases earlier this year. There was an explosion of cases following Christmas and New Year festivities, which led to overstretched hospitals, and the government imposed a general lockdown in the middle of January and closed down schools a week later. There have been nearly 16,000 coronavirus deaths and over 800,000 cases so far. Meanwhile, everyone in England is to be given access to 2 rapid coronavirus tests a week from Friday under an extension of the government's testing program. The lateral flow kits, which can provide results is around 30 minutes, will be available for free at testing centers, pharmacies, and throughout the post. The Health Secretary said it would help squash any outbreak as lockdown eases, but critics of the program say it risks becoming a scandalous waste of money. It comes as Boris Johnson is due to meet the cabinet to sign off the next stage of lockdown easing in England, which will see non-essential shops reopen and pubs and restaurants start serving outdoors from April 12. At least 107 people have died after flash floods and landslides hit Indonesia and East Timor on Sunday. Torrential rain sparked widespread destruction in the Southeast Asian neighbors, with water from overflowing dams submerging thousands of homes. The affected areas stretches from Flores Island in eastern Indonesia to East Timor. In Indonesia alone, 80 people have died with dozens still missing. Officials warn the toll could still rise. Now sports news. 27 months since the 19th National Sports Festival ended in Abuja, the 28th edition is already underway in Benin, Edo State capital, after a series of postponements due to the COVID-19 pandemic. Edo State Governor Godwin Obaseki has received the Torch of Unity ahead of the opening ceremony. With the Torch of Unity arriving in Benin, all facilities are ready for use in all the centers designated for the festival, while athletes and other officials are camped in different accommodations across the state.
Promise that we'll keep it alive and pass it on to the next generation.
With 635 gold, 635 silver and 885 bronze medals up for grabs. Both athletes and officials are in high spirits, hoping to make their states proud. The local organizing committee is putting final touches ahead of the official opening ceremony slated for Tuesday, April 6th. 10 athletes who tested positive for COVID-19 at the ongoing Edo 2020 National Sports Festival have been placed in isolation. Speaking with journalists, Dr. Andrew Obi, the incident manager, COVID-19 response, Edo State, stated that 7 of the athletes had been moved to the Stella Obasanjo Isolation Center, where medical personnel are attending to them. The remaining 3, according to Dr. Obi, tested positive on Sunday morning. Dr. Obi said those at the Stella Obasanjo Isolation Center will be taking their doses until they are declared fit enough to get back to the public. And as we go on the news this afternoon, remember, the very first Easter taught us this, that life never ends and love never dies. And you can now watch us live on these platforms: Apple, Roku, Facebook, and Android devices. You can also watch live on OGTV website, www.ogtv.com.ng/live, and email at info@ogtv.com.ng. And that was our news at 2. Thanks so much for watching. There will be an update at 8. Don't forget to join us. Until then, good afternoon.